Okay. And second one is from second is from is from third one. About what is happening on.
All right, let us start the news bulletin. Can we call the first group? All right, let us start with the first group. Let us start. Whatever you are saying, come here and say. Let us start.
I mean, you can say otherwise. Okay, okay.
Come.
No, stay. Yeah. From here. Today,
All right, if you are prepared, stop it. Let us start the class.
Yes, you go there. You are the studio.
The person who is in the studio, please come.
We can use pen as a mic. You can use mic as a mic.
This is your studio, please come here. And be in the frame. 2-3 correspondents. Be in the frame. All right, let's start.
I have to.
Everybody has to be here. Those who are speaking. One person will be. Who can see you over there? आप बीच में जाओ. एक यहाँ आओ. आप किस जगह के आपको पता है ना? कहाँ का न्यूज दे रहे हैं आप? All right, we are starting with the news bulletin.
Good afternoon, viewers. This is Ujjwal Pulse, and now you are watching the Patak News. Today's news headlines are: 5G biggest spectrum sale started 26 July. Second news is about COVID cases and 45 new COVID cases in states. Third news is about a student protest army new schemes. Now I have to connect about the first news, which is 5G biggest spectrum sale started on 26. I have to connect my correspondence. That is Krishna Kumar. Krishna Kumar, are you hearing me? Yes, Ujjwal. I'm audible.
Picture.
Yeah, you are audible. Yes, I'm Krishna from Mumbai. Now the biggest spectrum will start from July 26. Now India's high transition to high-speed 5G telephone. The country is set to witness the biggest ever auction of spectrum, with the government putting 72 megahertz of mobile air wave on the same. The largest such quantity being sold at one go, and the government hope that the auction will be begun on July 26, which has value around 4.3 lakh crore just a reserve price. So thank you. I'm completing this news with the cameraman Janju Rohit Topde. Thank you. And now I have to connect the second news.
You have to say thank you to the person.
Okay, thank you, Krishna. And now I have to connect my second correspondence, Mukul Kumar from the news, that is a student protest India's a student protest army and requirement schemes.
First you give the headline, then you connect with the person.
Now
The next news is
okay. The student protest army's new requirement schemes. Now I have to connect a correspondence, that is Mukul Kumar. Mukul Kumar, are you hearing me?
Yeah, I'm hearing.
I'm audible?
Yeah, you are audible. So, good morning, viewers. I'm Mukul, and from Smastipur. You see.
you will not say good morning, viewers. You will say thank you for the person in the studio. And you will not introduce yourself. I am Mukul, because they already said that our correspondent from.
Thank you, Mr. Oswald. And you better know nowadays what's going to happening about Agnipath Yojana. First, I want to tell about Agnipath Yojana. What is Agnipath Yojana? Agnipath Yojana means a duration of 4 years in the armed forces. So students are going to protest against army, the new recruitment scheme. That is Agnipath Yojana. Protests broke out in Buxar, Begusai, Muzaffarpur and Samastipur against short service period and reduced age limit for the job at Agniveer. As you know, yesterday in Samastipur, students are protesting, and they broke all the things which is related to government. And
You have to give the detail. How many train speech, not a speech or paragraph writing. This is news. It is based on facts. Read the news, whatever is there.
Okay, thank you. Your voice is cutting, Mukul. So I am connected to my next correspondence for about the.
Correspondent.
Okay, ma'am. And our third outline says 43 COVID cases in a state. Now I am connecting our third correspondent from Bihar. Are you listening, Praveen Kumar?
Can you hear me? Can you hear
me, Praveen?
yes. Am I audible? Yeah, you are audible. Okay, thank you, Ujjwal. The state recorded 23 new COVID cases, including 25 in Patna, during the last 24 hours on Wednesday, taking the number of active cases to 161. Patna district has the maximum number of active cases, 105, followed by Gaya 8 cases, West Champaran cases, and Samastipur 5 cases, according to the Health Department of Bihar. Thank you.
Okay, and again I have to repeat my headlines.
And now the headlines once again. Repeated क्यों बोलना है? And now the headlines once again.
And now the headlines once again. The student protest.
And आपको बोलना है back to the studios. Okay. Connect the audience with the studio.
Okay. And now again headlines are a student protest army's new requirement scheme. Second, 5G biggest spectrum sale started 26 July. And third, 43 COVID cases in a state. Thank you.
First, second, third भी नहीं बोलना है.
Okay.
And now the headlines once again. Repeat the headlines. And stay tuned for the next news at 2. Do it. We are practicing only.
Thank you.
Repeat the headlines.
Okay, ma'am. A student protest army's new requirement.
आप बोल रहे हैं आपको back to the studios. आप बोलिए back to the studios.
Okay, thank you. Back to the studio.
Again, the news headlines are: a student protest RB's news requirement scheme. 5G Brigade spectrum sale on 26 July. 43 COVID cases in a state. Thank you.
That's all for now.
That's all for now, and
And stay tuned to the next, and stay tuned for the next news as too.
keep watching the news channel.
नहीं, ये नहीं होता है.
For the next news.
आपको 1 मार्क्स भी हम आपको नहीं देंगे. Very badly present. Very bad. ये हर चीज में मजाक थोड़ी होता है. ऐसा कि आप न्यूज देखते तो ऐसा होता है क्या?
तो मैं
बच्चों ने इतने अच्छी तरह से प्रेजेंट किया है. एक बार तो सर ने कहा था कि मुझे पता ही नहीं चला कि मैं न्यूज देख रहा हूँ कि मैं बच्चों का प्रोग्राम देख रहा हूँ. इतना बढ़िया लोग किया था. नॉट लाइक दिस. हर चीज का मजाक बनाना है. ओके, लेट अस इनवाइट द नेक्स्ट. आप फिर से करिएगा मेरे साथ. नॉट लाइक दिस. जो गाइडलाइंस मैंने दिया था उसके अनुसार. हमेशा मजाक थोड़ी होता है. ये स्किट थोड़ी है. मजाक नहीं करता. नहीं. और आप हंस रहे हैं. And now the next group. I am shortlisting students for news bulletin. आज मैं देख लेती हूँ. आपको एक दिन और चांस मैं दूँ. And then I will shortlist. Whatever you're doing today is the training program.
Yes, ma'am.
Training में नहीं सीख पाओगे तो कब सीखो?
Good morning to you all. This mic is not. Yeah. On it.
On it नहीं, switch it on.
Yes. Good morning to you all. You are watching Hotspot News. This is Satvik Kumar with cameraman Adarsh Kumar. So move to our headlines for today. RBI tightens NBFC lending and disclosure guidelines. Bihar burns with Agnipat protests. Traffic disrupted.
Fully picture.
COVID cases continue to rise as 40 more test positives. India, yes. So I would like to
And now the news in details.
announce the news in details. So first I would like to invite Mr. Ramu Kumar from Delhi. Ramu, are you hearing to me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Ramu, elaborate on the news that why RBI tightens NBFC lending and disclosure guidelines.
You are the camera person, you should be here. The person sitting at the studio will not need a cameraman because he already is on air. But he will be needing with the camera person. Come over here. Not there, come here.
Yes, you can.
Yeah.
Good afternoon. My name is Ramu Kumar. I am from.
My name is क्यों बोला? वो already बोल चुका है. आपको टाइम क्या है इसके लिए क्या?
Thank you, sir.
Sir क्यों बोलना है? You all correspondents, you all in the group. Thank you, Satvik.
Thank you, Satvik. I am from with cameraman Adarsh Kumar.
वो last में बोलेंगे आप.
The Reserve Bank of India has tightened norms of non-banking finance companies, calling them from lending the business at their senior executives. Land, FS and DFS taxes, NBFCs will also have to disclose loans to reality against the scarce security mortgages. The restrictions of lending states that will rational by the board mind and upper layer. NBFCs has not be lending more than 5 crore to the directors, CEOs.
Okay, Ramu, thanks. Would like to answer the when this will going to start?
Restrictions on the loans, the real estate sector, that loans can be provided after the borrowers has been obtained prior. This all comes in the effect from the current financial years.
Thank you, Ramu. Now we are moving to our next news. To explain this news, we have a correspondent from the Patna itself. So, are you hearing me?
Yeah.
Yes. Please elaborate.
What's happening there?
So what's happening there?
You saw burn the student burn the track with of Agnipat Yojana. In Agnipat Yojana, government says that in which youth of 17 and a half or 21 years will save the country by joining the armed forces for 4 years through the transparent process and correspondent the service provided. They will receive the tax-free fund package of RS for 11.71 lakh, which will be also make the financial empowerment. You saw all the students burn the train. In Dana, you saw I am here in Dana.
Are you hearing, Utsav? I think you have any problem.
No, don't the problem. You hear me?
Yes. Now you're clear. Yes.
Yeah, you saw all the government are understanding the student, but student not understand, and you saw student don't understand, and they are protest in Tanapur and burn the train and destroy the station and many of vehicles. Behind the camera, I am with others Gupta. Satvik?
With camera person, back to the studios.
Thank you, Utsav. And now we are moving to our next.
You have to listen to a lot of news on television.
So we are now we're moving to
You want to
our next.
excel in news bulletin? Listen to the news in English, how they are speaking.
Now we are moving to our next case. COVID cases continue to rise as 40 more test positive in India. So we are now moving to elaborate on this. I would like to welcome my honorable guest, the Honorable Chief Health Secretary of India, Puneet Kumar. Please, sir, are you hearing me, sir?
Yes.
Thank you for our engagement, sir. Please give me some report about the increasing cases of COVID.
Thank you, Satvik. It is a very tough time. As per the data shared by the Union government on Thursday, Maharashtra was at the top of 36 states. The Union territories with 4,024 new cases registered in a single day, while 4 other states and uniform territories had no cases on Thursday. Meanwhile, 5 states registered 19 cases in a single on Thursday. And as per your state data, that cases in the state with maximum 117 in Patna. Of the 40 new cases, 20 were from Patna, followed by Aurangabad, where 5 people tested positive, and Jahanabad with 3 new cases. That's all for today, and hand over to
You are not a correspondent, you are the expert or the somebody.
Sir, would you like to say some preventive measures to the citizens?
Yes. I would say that people should get vaccinated and wear masks and maintain social distancing, save themselves COVID-19. Thank you, Satvik, and behind the camera person.
आपको क्यों कैमरा पर्सन की जरूरत हो गई?
Thank you, sir. Thank you for connecting with us. Now, we are moving to our next headlines. India v South Africa and India v South Africa by 84 runs. The series become now 2-2. Sensex dips 404 points on the wall rate. High fears down over 48 points since April 4. So that's it for today. You are watching Hotspot News. Please show the result. Thank you.
Okay, that was better. It can be the best also. Practice makes it perfect. Can I have the next participant, please? Next group. Very good for starting. And now the third group for news bulletin. This is bridge 1.
Good afternoon, viewers. I'm Suniti, and you are watching Bharat News. And it's time for our headlines. So, our first headline: Need to get more youngsters involved with chess, said by Vishwanathan Anand. So, let's now connect it with our daily correspondent to elaborate this news. Kanchan, are you able to listen me?
Yes, I can hear you. Thank you, Sunidhi. Five times world chess champion Vishwanathan Anand is quite excited about India hosting the Chess Olympiad for the first time since its inception in 1927. He appreciated the involvement of youth in chess. He said that he believed that chess will be a game changer. And that's the news. Kanchan Yadav with cameraman Susmita Mari, New Delhi. Okay, back to the studio. Thank you.
Thank you, Kanchan. And now it's such a certain breaking news is coming out. Exclusive on Bharat News. Government suspended internet service in 15 districts because of the protest. Exclusive on the Bharat News. So let's take a detail of this news. Shreya, are you able to listen to me? Yeah, I listen to you. Thank you, Sunidhi. In the wake of widespread protest against the center's Agnipatra scheme for short-term requirement in armed forces, the state government on Friday suspended internet services for transmissions of messages to social networking sites and messaging applications 15 out of 38 districts of Bihar till Sunday, June 19th. The districts where internet services has been temporarily suspended include Tamil, Bhojpur, Aurangabad, Rohtas, Buxar, Nevada, West Champaran, East Champaran, Lakhisarai, Begusarai, etc. Thank you. And the more continued news, the headlines are RJD left support call for Bihar Bandh today. 60 coaches of train set on fire. Railway a soft target of protesters. And that's for now. Stay tuned for more news and more updates. Thank you.
Okay. So with news bulletin, this requires a lot of practice. And those who are coming with the news in their hands, when you will watch the news on TV, nobody has any scripted. People who are the correspondents will speak like what is happening over there. The persons in the studios, they may have a pen in their hand with the news headlines. Otherwise, Sunidhi, it was good. Your projection and your voice modulation were also good, but it takes a lot of practice. Now, if you want to excel in news bulletin, this is one excellent activity which involves a lot of people and which involves communication. You can include phrases, words. You've been listening to the news. You have been reading the newspaper every day. Then you have got a lot of edge to the news, what is happening. Now, one thing more. If you want to be good at communication, listen to the people, listen to the anchors, listen to the news readers, how they speak, what they speak, what makes them the number one channel. The only thing which makes them the number one channel is their communications. How they connect with the audience. You must have heard Arnav Goswami, Republic Bharat. Pushta hai Bharat, Pushta hai India. So that kind of vibrancy you need in your voice. Why people say that this channel is the number one? All because of their correspondence. You remember in Sushant Singh Rajput's case, the Arnav was hitting a very high scale. And at the same time, he was in the studios, but whatever was happening, his correspondents were everywhere. Near Sushant Singh Rajput's house, near the girl's house. What was her name? Ria. what was happening. The correspondents were all over. They were covering the news. So do you remember how they spoke? They connect. Now, is there any other news? No. Not bad for trying, but then, and this requires you'll be given at least half an hour's time to prepare. But then, if you do it almost on a daily basis, we'll understand what to say and how to say. That's it.